because a lot of people didn't know about Atlanta. Like they knew about Atlanta, but they had never experienced the atmosphere of Atlanta. And so,
but like I said, I go back to the people. It was something about the people at that time that we had somewhat of a great unity. That is absolutely true.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. You're exactly right, man. And that was. If you go back and you look at the statistics, man. The statistics show that half of the people who even came to visit never went home. That is fact.
I believe that.
I know that's true because I know 3 people went to North Carolina A&T.
The misconception is that being a gentleman is just about being polite or courteous to women. In actuality, to be a true gentleman means that you have respect for your fellow man, so it encompasses men and women. Style is something that you evolve into. It's about your personality. It's about how you live your life.
welcome to the next episode of the Gentleman of Style Show. I'm Baldwin.
And I'm Creech. And you know how we do around here. We always try to bring you somebody with flavor. And today, hey, ain't nobody got more flavor than this cat right here, man. I'll just keep it real.
No, see, y'all don't even understand what's about to happen right now with this next guest.
It's historical, man.
It's historical. And many of you out there that I know that follow us will understand the depth and the gravity of the conversation that we are about to have.
You think they really gonna understand that? I don't think they're gonna understand. Some of them I don't think they're gonna understand it, man. Look,
some of them gonna understand.
I don't know. Look, I ain't gonna get into all that. But we gotta bring him on now. Look, we done brought you one of the original.
The original now.
The original. Not one. Not
somebody else. Not somebody else. Not
started it all.
No face or anything like that.
Yeah.
Founder
of the original.
The original. Freaknik.
Well, let me step back. Say that one more time.
The original founder of Freaknik.
Freaknik. Can you hear me?
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
It make you have an ugly face. I don't normally try to make it, but it make you have an ugly face.
The ugly face.
Anyway,
please welcome to the stage, DjTrey Bills.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You know what it is. You know what that meant to his city. Come on, man. Come on, you know what it meant to his city. Look, I ain't gonna play around with this. Let me start here. No, I am.
Let's not even jump in. Let's not jump into that.
I'm not gonna do it.
Let's not jump into that. Let's establish some other stuff.
Yeah, let me go back. Go back.
All
right. Let's talk. Obviously, music is in your genes. Let's go back there. How did that happen? You know, coming up, young buck, however you want to call it. Where did the music come from, man?
Music came, man, in my household, period, man. Mom Dukes, shouts out to Mom Dukes, man. My dad, man, he Man, every Saturday, my mom would get up, man. She would play some Marvin Gaye. She wear her footies, she drink her wine, and she clean up.
That house.
It was clean up time, brother, on Saturday.
Yes.
Understand me? It was clean up time, straight up. And man, and you heard that good music. Then mom out there, everybody cleaned up. Mom would cook a little dinner for, had some dinner ready for us, man. Good home meal. And man, it was just, and then my brother, man, my oldest brother, shouts out to Chef TK. He's a chef now. Shouts out Chef TK, man.
He's here in Atlanta?
He's here in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a celebrity chef, and got him. Shouts out, man. Like I said, got him started in the industry, man. With some art, with the artists that I know, and Mayweather, man. Shouts out, man, for having my brother, man, Cedric the Entertainer, to be just a couple of names that he has cooked for.
Right.
So, but shouts out to Chef TK, man. But at any rate, he used to dance with this girl. Crew called the Bubblegum Bunch.
Oh, yeah.
He used to pop lock.
Boy, them names.
He used to pop
old
lock.
school.
He used to pop lock, back in the day, man, go down the underground, and he had to take me with him. He's 5 years older than me, so he had to drag me with him, man, and he used to hate it, man. He's like, man, listen, you go with me, man, you don't say nothing, man. If I'm talking to a chick, bro, you sit over here. You understand? You don't say nothing. But of course, what I'm saying, being the cat that I am, man, I had to say something. Like, I was getting all the attention, you know what I'm saying?
You cute little brother, yeah.
Mad at that. Oh man, he's so cute. What's his name? He ain't got no name. But man, but shouts out to Chef TK, man, the Bubblegum Bunch, man, all them cats that used to pop lock that brought in the segue to yeeking. Here in the city of Atlanta, there was a dance called yeeking, and
I remember that.
And that was a dance that started here in Atlanta, and I used to be a part of the yeet situation. I call it a situation because that's what it was. It was a culture, just like you had the hip hop culture in the North. You had the Southern hip hop culture, man, that just blew up in the South, man, like nobody's business, and we hadn't turned back since.
Absolutely,
man.
Absolutely.
Look, that's some good stuff, man. I didn't know that you had the founder spirit. I didn't know all the way back to the dancing and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's some good stuff, man. You are a pioneer of the Atlanta culture.
Well, let me ask you this though. Like, since you've been here and you've been like an instrumental part of the change. Absolutely. As far as what we see today. I mean, from the things that we haven't talked about yet, and what you actually were a founder of, and we've seen a shift in how we look and how we do things, and what we look at as entertainment and all of that. So my question is this: from the beginning, before you did any of that, okay, before any of that, what is your outlook as far as the shift in society, as far as from just on a normal basis of how we interact and we do things? Is there anything that you noticed that has changed?
Oh, absolutely.
Prior to that, what would you say? Can you give us a little bit?
Absolutely. People used to be a lot friendlier, man. People cared, man. It was family. You know what I'm saying?
It's very interesting.
It was family. It was family. You had your neighbors down the street. Everybody knew everybody. Right. You went down 10, 15 houses, and you knew everybody. You knew you could go inside their house and eat dinner with them. Right. They can whoop your butt too. You understand?
Yes.
You got out of line. Mama Johnson down the road, because she was mama. Mama Johnson could whoop your butt.
Right.
And
everybody was mamas back then. Like, I ain't even catch up.
They were mamas for real.
Mama Jackson, mama this, mama. You are absolutely right. You get down there. But go ahead.
But no. So I mean, that's a change. Everybody showed love to one another, and we care more about one another as a people, man. Mm-hmm. And I say that because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? If something was going on with my brother, he could come to my house and we have a conversation about it, and it wouldn't be no animosity, no.
I follow you now. I follow what you're saying now.
Even if we did get into it, guess what? Tomorrow we're back friends.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow we're back friends because Mama Johnson and Mama Billings ain't gonna have this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Versus today.
Oh man, everybody's so separate. You don't even know who your neighbors are today.
Right. That is absolutely.
And you have a conflict. It goes to 100 like very quickly.
Oh, real fast, real fast.
So much tension.
It's escalated because everybody's doing their own thing. It's about self.
Right.
And then, one of the things that my son said, and I always taught my son and my daughter, shouts out to Mobiles who wasn't able to be here today with us, but I always told them either you receive what you believe is a reward today and suffer tomorrow, or you suffer tomorrow and get what or you receive what you believe is a reward today and suffer tomorrow, or you suffer tomorrow and get your reward today.
Right.
So I mean, one way or another, some suffering gonna come, and it's up to you how you be rewarded for it.
Right.
It can be a good reward, or it could be a bad reward.
Right.
You can get your ass whooped. Or you can, or you can, excuse me, gentlemen, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Or you can get something. You can be rewarded good for what you've done. Your choice.
Right.
That's your choice. But there is some type of reward that's going to come from everything that you do.
Right.
Saying that, it makes me think, because when you talk about how you were raised and everything that you went through, of course, then you had kids, and one of your kids is, a rising star that's doing his thing. And so, as a father, did you see something in him early
I did.
that you said, I've got to guide him? Or was it something that just kind of shot into, it was done, and before you knew it, like, I didn't know he was,
No. We saw this cat was always. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you a little story, man. We used to go out, and every now and again we take the. We never left our children with anyone. Let me just say that we raised our children everywhere. Everywhere I was, my son and my daughter was there. You understand? I came out of the industry so that I can to rear my children.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They need their dad. Dads are important inside of the household.
Absolutely.
It's that structure of dad being there. I taught my children to ride bikes. I taught them my son to tie a shoe. Guess what? When my daughter was becoming a young lady, guess what? It was my responsibility as dad to control the atmosphere inside of the household. So she came to her dad and said, "Hey, Dad, I'm having this situation." We talked about it, and I took care of that situation. I went and did the necessary things. See, my mom was a retired nurse, so she says, one day you may have to take care of a young lady. You understand? So I went to the pharmacy and took care of my daughter and taught her what she needed to know. Because that's my job as a father, as a dad, is to make sure that my daughter and my son are well equipped with what they need to succeed in this society.
Exactly. And we feel you to the heart of what you just said and everything, as fathers ourselves of daughters. So
it's a different breed.
Mine come. She come to me for everything.
Right.
When she was her first relationship situation, she came to Dad and said, "Please don't tell Mom." So I mean, as a father, they talk about moms are nourishing. They are. But with a girl, there's a special bond.
Yes.
There's a special bond that cannot ever be explained between a father and a daughter.
That's right.
And
right.
Now my son, I love my son, and I raised my son to be of excellence. Everything that you do it right the first time, so you won't have to do it a second. Because if you do it a second, then you're gonna make a mockery of yourself.
Right.
So you don't want to be a mockery. You represent a well established name. I come from a long line of Billingsleys. Man, and
I'm gonna say this right here, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I ain't gonna. The name Billingsley, first of all, it sounds like money.
That's a baller name.
That sounds like money. So when you have that name, there's an air about it. But I'm gonna let you go head over. But I'm gonna give you props for that. Just Billingsley.
Billingsley.
That
sounds like something that needs to be on, his own TV show.
All of that.
Like that.
All of that. But that's all.
It's holding company. It's got that certain,
the Billingsley fund or the Billingsley bill.
Billingsley.
That's a whole different thing. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. We'll talk about that later on. But go ahead.
But I came in, and my dad always. Let me tell you something. I came from a father who cut grass in a pair of loafers.
Right.
Never seen see him wear a pair
Yeah,
of
a pair of
sneakers.
loafers. That old
Oh
school,
my
brother.
goodness.
Never
Yeah,
saw
that's
him
old
wear a
school.
pair of sneakers until he and his cousin played. He coached basketball for a men's league back in the day when I can remember him going off, and that's the only time I ever seen him wear some Chuck Taylors. Shout out to Papa Bills, man.
Shout out to Papa Bills, man. Shout out. For real. But yeah, you bring up a good point, because when we look back in our culture back in the day as the men were, they believed in style. I don't give a damn what you did.
They believe in getting dressed.
Right.
They believed in getting dressed.
Mhm.
That's where this came from.
Right.
It was something that I watched older cats and people back in the day and how they presented themselves, and I always felt like I wanted to be that. I wanted to be, when I get to a certain age, I want people to look at me and be like, rather than just be in the pack or the norm. I wanted that distinction of that brother right there.
Well, brother, y'all brothers wear it well, man.
Well,
Y'all
brother,
brothers wear it well,
you
man.
came up in here
Y'all
and you
brothers
showed
wear it
out, so I
well,
appreciate
man.
that.
Yeah, you showing out
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
we appreciate that
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
Gentleman of Style. That's what the Gentleman of Style show is, a talk show. It's
Right.
not about style, it's not just about fashion.
Right.
But when somebody shows up, we let them know.
Right. Because we appreciate that. Even though that's not our concentration,
Yeah,
we appreciate it. We
That's a
really
big
appreciate
thing.
it and everything.
It makes you feel good when you dress
It
nice.
does.
That's
And
the
I
thing.
always wonder. I always ask my dad, "Hey, Dad, why you dress?" A well-dressed man is a well-spoken person.
It means
And,
something.
yeah, it does.
It
It's a
means
It's a status.
Right.
It says I am somebody,
Right.
and I feel good about who I am.
And it says that I pay attention to detail.
And it says I am a professional. I am. It speaks volumes, to be honest with you. It speaks
All of that.
volumes prior to you opening your mouth, speaking for yourself.
Mhm.
So
That
it's your ambassador.
True.
It's your ambassador.
It's your calling card.
Before you call the call
Yeah,
before you even get
yeah.
there. So
Now, with that having been said,
with that being said, go ahead.
we mentioned something a little earlier.
Oh
I know what
yeah.
they're talking about.
You gotta get into the flavor.
Mentioned something a little earlier. I know they've been trying to figure it out.
Go ahead and do it.
When we
Chris.
do
Do
it,
it.
I'm
Chris.
going to do it.
Go ahead and do
How? Atlanta culture is rich in a lot of things.
Right.
Mm.
How did you and your co-founders come up with Freaknik?
it. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man,
a very good question. Where did that come from?
This was thought of. It was, shouts out to all the brothers that was over at the AU Center, man. Myself went to Morris Brown, but there was some brothers who also over at Clark College, man. It started out as Freak Fest.
Okay.
Freak Fest.
Freak Fest.
Mhm.
Is this about to get dirty?
No,
No.
we
Okay.
gonna get. It's not gonna get dirty at all. We gonna keep it clean. We
Yeah.
clean. We gonna keep
Yeah,
it
we're
clean.
going to keep it clean, yeah.
How it all came about, man, is that we just got tired. We got tired of having to go to different places like the Orange Crush. Got tired of having to go to Myrtle Beach or down to Miami Week or Virginia Beach, wherever. We're Atlanta, man. This is a black mecca, man. And why can't we do something here and let's see what happens? And we saw it happen. If you've never been to Freaknik, you missed out, by the way. You film, audio, nothing can do any justice to Freaknik. Shouts out to all the brothers that was a part of that, man, and made it possible, helped to make that possible, man. I can't say thank y'all. Man, I love each and every one of y'all. You know who you are. So, man, that's what happened. And it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew.
Exponentially. What was it's like on that first year? I don't know if you can remember. Going back to that first year, if you can remember the first year, what was that capacity like? How many people you think you had?
It actually was like a little picnic. We actually was doing things in Washington Park, and it was like a picnic. It was just like a regular. Hey, let's get together. It was college students. Let's get together and just enjoy it, man.
So in you guys' interaction with the city, because it did blow
Oh
up.
man.
Can you tell us a little bit about, that interaction, since you guys were at the forefront of what was happening, year after year after year? Like, tell us from like the first time and give us like maybe 2 or 3 years as it progressed.
Well, I
The
tell you what,
interaction
what I'm
from
gonna do
the
is
city-
I'm gonna get to
level.
the meat and potatoes.
Okay, go ahead.
Because, you know, of course, you know, when you're small and you're not a threat,
Mhm.
then there's
whatever.
no worries.
Yeah, it's whatever. Have your
All
thing,
right.
do your thing. Yeah.
Around 93, 94, things could start to get.
So what you're saying right now, does that is it going to relate to the current situation? Is it going to kind of blend?
It
but
should.
go ahead, you
It
talk.
can, it
You
can,
talk.
and
You
it
talk.
should. And I'll explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
You got to understand, politics is politics,
Right.
and there's politics in everything that we do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you know, Freaknik was never supposed to be a financial stable situation.
Okay.
And whenever you're involving money, you're involving politics.
Right.
Let me explain that.
In that magnitude.
Let me explain that. In the 90s, early to mid 90s, we were generating, bringing to the city of Atlanta at that time. What was his name? He had light eyes. The mayor. What was it? Oh my God, what was his name? But at any rate, the mayor at the time was with us. He was okay for us. But the governor, I think, was Joe Frank Harris. Governor Joe Frank Harris was not feeling it, you know. And the reason he wasn't feeling it, not because a whole bunch of college students were getting together and people were having a great time. It was even more to that. You know, anytime that you cannot get your hands on anywhere from $30 to $50 million in 3 days,
Right.
all that's going into the black community.
Right.
Then that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a real problem. Only thing they was able to get their hands on in the city of Atlanta was the property taxes or the hotel taxes from all the people having somewhere to stay.
Right.
Okay, so now let's get a little deeper than that. You had the Coca-Cola Foundation, who couldn't get their hands on it, so they didn't like it. Then you had the Buckhead Association. So now we're not coming down to Buckhead spending all our money because we partying in the streets. We going over to West End. We going to South DeKalb.
Yeah.
We out at Lenox. We all over the place. And we spending our money at Abdullah the Butcher's Rib Shack that now that don't blow up.
Because we're not living fancy. We just getting some food and we out here
we
socializing.
spending the money. You know what I'm saying? That Mr. Johnson over here who got a T-shirt press that's on pretty
Make your money.
This man is opened up him a shop because
everybody wanted a Freaknik shirt.
You had to have a Freaknik shirt, man.
Yeah.
You didn't have a Freaknik shirt, something wrong.
Okay, what it's got something in that.
As long as it said Freaknik, it didn't matter what.
It didn't matter what.
Big booty girl on the back or something.
It didn't matter. Look,
I was in free.
I'm gonna tell you this right here, and I promise you to this day, this is 2020, 2016. I still had a Freaknik shirt. All the way to 2016. I finally got rid of it. That thing, it probably said, it like, I had it that long and I always kept it. And I started cutting grass in it. And once I started cutting grass, I talked to you. I had
one. I don't know what happened.
It's Atlanta history, man.
Yeah,
It's Atlanta history.
It was in an era to me. It's the beautiful thing about Freaknik to me was the people. I mean, just being real. It wasn't the shows, it wasn't the party. All that was good, but it was meeting people in the streets that were from Florida, from Tennessee.
Yeah, people would come
North
from California.
From California.
I'm talking about all across the
They
U.S.
were all
I was like,
there were people
what?
from the islands coming across,
All
man.
these people.
From Bermuda, Bahamas. We had people from literally all over the world coming to Atlanta for that what we call a festival.
Right.
Because that's what it was. We just didn't have the permits, and thank God that we have a mayor. Shouts out to Keisha Lance Bottoms, man, for seeing the vision, because she was a Freakniker, and seeing the vision and saying, hey, listen, it wasn't all as bad as people portrayed it to be.
Right.
You got to understand, there was people like, you got looting now, right? And people was infiltrating the looters now.
Yeah.
You had people that infiltrated the Freaknik party then and busting windows out and all kind of stuff. That wasn't even part of our situation.
Right,
but of course, because the name, guess who got blamed?
Right.
Freaknik.
Again, the people during that era, man, I met some good people, a few people I still keep in contact with to this day with, just being in the streets and just conversate. It was a lot of conversations going on. You just met people walking down the street, folk would be cooking out on the side of the road. You hungry?
Yeah.
And that doesn't, of course, doesn't happen to this day. That's the foundation, going back to what you were saying, almost Freaknik, even though it was I won't even call it wild. It was just a great time. But when you talk about how the culture and the mothers, and you go down the street and they could whoop you, anybody whooping anybody, but the people had that mentality of they were friendly. Let's have a good time. Where you from? What you do?
Everybody was family. It was
Everybody,
a family,
exactly.
Family feel is what
Culture.
it was. It was a family feel, and you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I mean, there would never be another situation like that ever again in life, and you know, I'm just glad that I was able to be a part of that.
Right. Got to roll into this DJ. Gotta put that out there because that's what you do. First of all, when was the first time you picked up the turntables?
Oh man, shouts out to my mentor, man, DJ Smooth, the City Boys DJ, man, at the time. Freaknik was rolling hard, man. The City Boys were rolling hard.
City Boys.
Man, my guy Smooth, who went to Towers High School. Myself, I'm a graduate of Towers High School. Also, shouts out to Morris Brown College. I'm a graduate of Morris Brown College.
Brown.
And Mo Brown. And DJ Smooth, I used to be a professional dancer.
Used to be a professional dancer.
Professional dancer, I dance professionally. But of course, you know, as you get older, that stuff calms down.
Yeah.
You know, you can't move like you used to. I still got a couple moves. I handle my own.
So you still can handle it.
Don't let this ass cop fool you.
You want to show us? No, I'm just
Hey man,
no, I ain't gonna
Don't make me hit the switch,
bro. I want to put you on the spot like
Will he get out now? Will he get out? Will he get out now?
Look how Trey Ross say, sure you don't ride, go ahead.
Hey man, let me tell you something, bro. We I'm true to mine. You understand?
Yeah.
And whenever the time arrives, that I was up for the challenge. And I'm finna I bet you won't get crunk. You know what I'm saying? I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet
and
you won't.
I would love to travel with you, just like go somewhere like an island, you know, with all a big group or something like that. It'd be all, I'm pretty sure that would be all.
We would have to all put our cell phones in a basket.
I like your train of thought.
Put our cell phones in a basket. And let it be, and we can make that happen now because you know I'm the proud owner of Ferrilla Travels, man. You know, I always believe that you're only as wide as you allow yourself to be.
Right.
And one thing that we as black men don't do is travel and see the world.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so that narrows us down. It narrows our minds. It narrows our thought patterns. It narrows everything about us.
Right.
We have to be open to new ideas.
Right.
We have to be open to new situations.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And I'm speaking from like the first time that I really did some extensive traveling when I flew to Europe and I lived in Germany. When I lived there and then I came back and I was there for a while. And when I came back, my whole mentality was different. Mm-hmm. You understand things different when you see different cultures and how they interact and what's going on and everything. And you come back to this culture, which is totally different. Your mind is forever opened. It's forever open, it's forever changed. And I even go as far as to say this. You can't even talk to certain people because they don't understand that concept. Mm-hmm. So it's important. If you can reach that level and you can get that mind of understanding and you're able to share that with other people, it kind of opens it up. And is that you?
I got you. You know, technology.
Yeah, I know.
Technology.
Y'all fans all good.
Technology, brother.
But you get what I'm saying.
But to answer your question, all of my buddies at the time, shouts out to DJ Nas, man, one of the greatest, man, one of the greatest on the set of turntables you ever want to see.
Been to quite a few parties.
Taz, I know Taz. That's right. Taz, DJ Taz is my man.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I was just on the phone with DJ Taz. We're trying to put together a little something for the DJs, man. As far as a concert series, but not with singers, just DJs.
DJs. Tell Taz he's still supposed to come see us.
Yeah, because we invited him to the show. And
Yeah,
he
Taz is
talking back and forth to it. He ain't, you know.
Taz is cool dude, man. He's producing a new album right now. So shouts out to my man Taz.
Right.
Shouts out Taz.
Taz, you know, Taz, we got much respect for you, man. You're another legend from where we come from and everything. That's why we want you on the show.
Yeah, come on by.
We
know you're a busy man.
I put in my
Taz.
push and my effort to get him on the show, man. But he's a great dude, man. He's a real humble dude. Him, Raheem, Raheem and myself and Taz were just on a phone call. Raheem the Dream, and then another one of my good buddies, Kilo Ali, staple in the city, man.
Right.
But to answer your question, I know I needed to recreate myself. I needed to keep myself relevant in the industry. And so, you know, I was around a lot of great DJs, man. And when you're around greatness, you have one or two choices. Either become great or get out of the circle. One of the two. And so, like I said, shouts out to my man, DJ Swoop, my mentor, who was like, yo, if you're gonna be around us, man, you're gonna go get you some turntables, or you're gonna go get you a mix of, you're gonna go get you some controllers. You're gonna do something.
Right.
And just being around those guys and always having an ear, man, for music, you know, it was easy for me to pick up and fall right in line. And so, you know, I never thought that I was capable or great enough to be a celebrity DJ until he pushed me out there and said, man, listen. This is the only way you're gonna make it happen. Is you got to get out there in the water, man.
Swim.
You got to get out there in the water. Either you drown or you swim.
Swim.
Your choice. And of course, you know, failure is not an option.
I like that.
Exactly.
So what's up next for you, man? Before we get out of here, what's up next for you?
Oh man, next up, man, we got a mixtape that we're gonna be doing for this coronavirus situation called a Corona Cure. DjTrey Bills, the Corona Cure.
All right.
And then we're gonna be moving. Shouts out to my boys. I am DJ for a couple of different artists, man. But shouts out to the Southern players. We're gonna be heading over to Europe as soon as this coronavirus situation lets up a bit. We'll be heading out to over to Europe. Y'all, man, we'll be doing a thing real soon. Coming to your either your living room or your bedroom, however y'all want to see us. We're gonna be on. We're gonna be doing the thing, man. We following suit with the rest of the artists, man. We're gonna be coming on. We're gonna give y'all a little mini concert, respect to the Southern players and their craft, man. And Mr. Dickie Ride themselves, man. The Dickie Ride boys. So we're gonna be doing that, man. But you know, just looking forward to the future, man. I do got a couple shout outs if I can, gentlemen. You know, first of all, thanks for having me on the show, man. This has been an honor, man.
Hey, man.
Truly an honor to sit amongst my brothers who I definitely respect, and this was hopefully be the start of a great relationship between us.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to shout out my publicist, she Robinson. She's great at what she does. She's a mother figure, boy. If you, but she's great at what she does, man. And shouts out to Tangy. Tangy, we know that you wish that you could be here with us, but we know that you've done a lot of great things just from afar, and we're grateful for that. So the shouts out to Tangy. Shouts out to all of our supporters, man. It's the Bills way for real. You know, we never got into how I got Trey Bills, but that's okay.
No,
Let's talk about it now. We're not.
No. We ain't limited to that.
Trey and I, man. The thing about it is, man, I've always had the name Trey. You know, I didn't like my name as a youngster. Tracy, I didn't like my name. I thought it was a feminine name, and so I start having people call me Trey. You know, Trey.
Yeah.
So you know, last name Billingsley, man. I didn't like that. I'm like, man, these people can't pronounce my last name, man. So it came Trey Bills. Like Trey said, my Trey Billy.
Right,
So I say,
right.
gave my son my name, and I could not have done a better thing. And he was TT Raw. When y'all asked him, he was TT Raw, man, at one time. Raw.
You want to tell me that?
Yeah, TT Raw.
TT Raw.
TT Raw.
As a matter of fact, I still got his hat, man.
Pretty Trey.
Pretty Trey.
Pretty Trey.
I mean, this brother, man, hey, man, but man, salute to my
Raw.
son, man. He has done his thug thizzle, man. He has taken this thing to a whole nother level, in his own way, man. And I'm grateful that he even decided to follow any type of my footstep and the footprints that I left for him. There were some big footprints, man. I wear 12. This brother wearing about a 9. So I mean, you know what I'm saying, he was feeling some big footprints, but he managed to fill them and going beyond that. So the thing about it, I've always told him, don't ever be me.
Right.
Be greater than me.
Right.
Absolutely. Be greater than me. Take our name somewhere it's never been before.
You know, I heard something that was very wise a little while back, and it had to do with our kids and what they do. What it was our kids, they are not who they are because of us. They are who they are in spite of us. I don't know if that registers.
No,
with
sure.
You understand?
Yeah, I mean, when you say that, I didn't mean to cut you off, but when you say that, it's the truth. Because if I, as a parent, we can direct them however we want, right? And if we direct them incorrectly and they can correct themselves, they become who they're supposed to be in spite of us.
In spite of us.
Even if we direct them the correct way and they take what we gave them and then exactly what you just said, and they take it up a notch, because we give them enough to say, be good. They say, no, I'm gonna be great.
I'm gonna be great.
So in spite of us,
I don't like what you said. I think I can do better than what you did.
Right.
In spite of us.
Right. So that's head on. That's dead on. I mean, that's always been my mentality, and that what you just said is that same perspective. Don't be, me.
Right, exactly.
Be
and that's why I bring light onto that.
That's spot on.
Yeah.
That is spot on. So with that having been said, I mean, this has been a great conversation. Anytime I can talk to somebody about Freaknik,
we could actually talk longer about it.
Yeah, but we can't.
But we can't talk longer.
Yeah, we can't put that on camera because
we can't talk.
If you have never been to Freaknik, I can't even.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't, even if I painted you a picture,
right,
you couldn't get the gravity of what that meant. And I mean this.
It's actually a more detailed conversation.
Right, and I mean this.
But we actually.
I mean this, and it wasn't just about the like for me, it was deeper than just the partying. Right. I have had some of the greatest times in the city of Atlanta during that span of time. That wasn't, I mean, the parties and the drinking and all that culture part, that was great. But like I said, I go back to the people. It was something about the people at that time that we had somewhat of a great unity, even if it was for Freaknik.
Let me go a little bit further than that. I would go as far as to say it's a lot of reasons why a lot of people live in Atlanta today.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. You're exactly right, man. And that was if you go back and you look at the statistics, man. The statistics show that that half of the people who even came to visit never went home. That is fact.
I believe that.
I know that's true because I know 3 people. I'm mentioning that they went to North Carolina A&T, came to Freaknik, transferred from A&T to either Georgia Tech. What's the other college? Georgia. What is it?
Georgia State.
Georgia State. I think 2 went to Georgia State, 1 went to, and so Georgia State.
Clark was here.
Ain't that Kennesaw? Is that Kennesaw?
Yeah,
Kennesaw. That was the other. And they came. They just really never left. To be honest with you, they stayed here. They went back. Damn near got their stuff and came back, and that was it.
Because a lot of people didn't know about Atlanta like they knew about Atlanta, but they had never experienced the atmosphere of Atlanta. And everything. So when they came and they saw it, and I'm not gonna lie, that was a big draw for me and everything. I was like, Atlanta's like the freaking bomb. You know what I mean?
And it's so much
right.
rich culture of black people and businesses.
And that was the other thing.
All over
There's a
the place.
high concentration of black people here.
Yeah.
And then when you go and you look at it at a more focused micro level, they're doing well.
Yeah.
They're able to come in and they're able to find their niche and they're able to build and they do well. Why wouldn't you want to be involved and attached to a situation like that? So what you guys did, it has like a monumental effect, not only on the culture, but the facet and the drive of the city to where it is now. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe that. Just like all this stuff that's going on right now, the civil unrest, that was a big movement. That I would say for this area, that movement was bigger than what just happened here.
And the other little piece of
it was huge.
You guys brought a lot of, you didn't just bring a lot of black people here through Freedom. You brought a lot of educated black people.
You brought
a lot of college students came to Freaknik.
Exactly.
And the ones that came back to live, whether they came during college or after, they were educated. They came and they moved here.
Yeah, they just weren't regular.
Yeah,
they weren't regular.
So
people.
they moved society in this area along. So I'm gonna get off Freaknik on this. And
but I mean, it's important though because now that we're having this deeper conversation about it, it had an impact way beyond the partying and all of that.
Oh yeah.
Now we're actually analyzing it to a deeper degree.
It was amazing.
Right.
It was a big absolutely.
It was, there's only one other, from what I understand, there's only one other situation that even could touch that situation, and that was from Black Wall Street.
Right.
That was the only other situation that even came close, because you understand, you got blacks today that came through the Freaknik era that are still here, that's running the city.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're running the city.
They're running the city.
They're
being part of the input of the city.
Right.
Yeah.
The businesses they build, the companies that they're running, the companies they're a part of, the families that they're raising.
Right.
It's something.
And they're not keeping it to themselves.
It's something. No, I ain't gonna cut you.
Go ahead.
No, it's just something to think about now that we, kind of.
It had an effect on us here. Sitting, as you can see, we're talking about it. It had an effect on us, and I believe it. It helped us to like look at things from a certain. If we did not have that perspective, we could not talk to you the way we're talking to you today. Like when we first found out, how do we? You saw how we reacted because it meant something.
Yeah, because
it really
truthfully, it strengthened our bond. Baldwin and I during that time. We partied or whatever. We've been knowing each other over 20 years. So being put in that situation and being around people and being connected during that time, it strengthened our bond. And when he came back here to live, it strengthened everything that we do is not related to Freaknik, but everything that we do in life is related to something.
Right. But focusing back on that because we looking at that as kind of like a micro topic in this larger conversation and everything, and focusing on what he says about bonds in that degree during that time, and you're living and you're out there in Freaknik and you partying, you got people that you came down with, you depend on them because you don't know other people that are out there that bond. You're forming these relationships and everything, people you can count on. And if you come through and you go in and you come out of it in a good way, you did it because of the people that you were around, that you could count on. You formed that bond, and that bond lasts. It lasts a long time till today.
It was about 7 or 8 of us in that house at times.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because it was Freaknik. Nobody
Exactly.
cared. Give me a corner. I ain't gonna do nothing but sleep.
Man, you
about
gotta
10
know.
minutes.
You gotta. I know cats that came down, man. They got a hotel room, man. Maybe 12 to a hotel
You know,
room.
they were about 12
But you know
minutes,
what? You
Yeah,
didn't.
you ain't there to 12 to a hotel in there 12 minutes.
Yeah,
You wouldn't even in there 10, 15 minutes. Get a shower. You off to the next
Change your drawers,
situation.
maybe.
Yeah.
and then
You
go
look,
back
you mess
outside.
around and go out one night. You ain't going back to.
You might not even go back there. You might go in there one time.
Yeah, you like, I gotta go get some clothes. And you go back,
Maybe.
shower, come back, blah blah.
Or to
blah.
see what, I mean, you know.
Well, to wrap this thing up, gotta ask you
Yeah,
this
we got
question.
Yes, sir.
You're a DJ,
I am a DJ.
but you mystical, you magic, you can do whatever. You got all things that is. You get a chance to DJ for whoever you want, dead or alive. 2 people. Who you gonna DJ for?
Man. If I had the chance to DJ for someone, dead or alive, I would have to say Barack Obama for one.
Okay.
I think he is an amazing leader. So I would have to say him. If I had an opportunity, I would have to say definitely it would have to be some Rockefeller party, man. Man, them cats, man, are amazing, man. Jay is amazing to me, man. Just from where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
Having the opportunity to sit down and be in a room with that dude was amazing. So, yeah, I would have to say a Rockefeller situation with Jay.
Hey man, that's big. First of all, I didn't expect the whole Barack Obama thing, but hey man, that's why we do this show. I like for people to come with a different perspective. So that's good stuff. Go ahead.
Okay. I think this has been great.
Absolutely.
It's been such a pleasure meeting you and everything.
Absolutely.
From our engagement when you got here early in the AM hours of the morning, I'm pretty sure it may be dark outside right now. I have no idea right now. It was a pleasure and just total engagement, you know, at that point when we first met in there, and you know the whole time that you've been here, and you know through the whole process, it's just been. I mean, I think I'm better. I think I'm better now than I was at 8 a.m. this morning. So it was a pleasure. Thank you so much
No, thank
for
you.
being here. And
Thank you.
everything. It was really a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And once again, as we always like to say, there is no excuse for good taste, because here at the Gentleman of Style Show, we believe in better.
Until
I'm
next
Baldwin.
time. Oh yeah, be Baldwin.
Yeah, I'm Baldwin.
And I'm Creech.
It is.
Until next time.
The Gentleman of Style Show.